They're acting like lovers.
Noses.
That's her big harassment moment.
Blake Lively might have just met her match. Megyn Kelly is on a mission to tear down every lie Blake has ever told, and the receipts she's bringing to the table are absolutely damning. Kelly isn't just talking, she's bringing in her own lawyer to lay out rock-solid evidence proving that Blake has been twisting the truth from the very beginning. But here's where it gets even wilder. Blake's motives could be way more sinister and self-serving than anyone ever imagined. From allegedly using Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds,
She alleges that she's a Me Too victim there. That's absurd.
to intimidate Justin Baldoni, to threatening producers with a boycott if her outrageous demands weren't met. This is way bigger than just a simple lawsuit. Blake Lively wasn't just reacting, she had a calculated plan all along. By now, everyone knows she's sued Justin Baldoni, accusing him of and orchestrating a smear campaign against her. But Justin didn't back down. He fired back with his own lawsuit, claiming she was the one trying to ruin his reputation. Sounds messy, right? Well, it's even deeper than you think. Before we dive into all the newly leaked evidence, we have to rewind way back to where this all really began. This feud didn't just explode overnight. It started long before the drama went public, back when Blake's carefully crafted reputation went up in flames. And despite what she claims, Justin Baldoni had nothing to do with it. The truth? Blake's own entitled "miss me" attitude turned her own fans against her. It all started during press interviews for It Ends With Us, when something just felt off. Fans picked up on her strange behavior, and it didn't take long before they started digging. What they uncovered? Absolutely disgusting old interviews that left people completely horrified. So, in a desperate attempt to salvage her public image, Blake jumped straight into defense mode, blaming Justin and his PR team for planting negative stories about her. And as part of her "please love me again" strategy, she teamed up with the New York Times to shift the narrative. Instead of taking accountability, she used the platform to make Justin look like the villain while portraying herself as the ultimate victim. But here's where things get really shady. There's now undeniable proof that the New York Times manipulated text messages, conveniently leaving out crucial details just to make Justin look even worse. Sound familiar? It should, because this is exactly what Amber Heard did to Johnny Depp in 2018. Remember that hit piece in The Sun where Amber painted Johnny as a monster while playing the helpless victim? And get this, Amber even crawled out of hiding to publicly support Blake. But here's where Blake completely miscalculated, taking a page from Amber's playbook. Huge mistake, because let's not forget just how badly that ended for Amber. Just like her, Blake assumed her fans were too clueless to see through the lies. But let's be real, no matter how many interviews she gives, no matter how many times she blames Justin's PR team, the truth is right in front of us. We see what's happening. We all see it. How rude she is to interviewers, how she constantly makes everything about herself. Like in this clip, where she was asked about her husband, but somehow managed to turn it into a promo for her hair care line. And the worst part? She seems completely tone-deaf to the entire theme of the movie, showing zero regard for actual victims.
Got into this movie, but then you turned around and you were just as supportive of Ryan. What is it like to...
And my hair care company, Blake Brown.
Is it any wonder her own fans turned against her? And just like Johnny Depp's lawyers obliterated Amber Heard, Justin Baldoni's legal team is gearing up to completely dismantle Blake Lively's case. No mercy. Oh, and here's a little extra twist. Megyn Kelly's lawyer? Yeah, he's also representing Justin. But here's where things take an even darker turn. As we mentioned earlier, this wasn't just a desperate attempt to save face. This may have been Blake's twisted plan all along, a calculated move to steal Justin Baldoni's film right from under him. And there's proof. Countless text messages between Justin, Blake, the producers, and editors that expose exactly what was happening behind the scenes. Justin Baldoni, who, let's not forget, wasn't just the lead actor but also the writer and director of the film, was completely blindsided when he found out that Blake had secretly created her own director's cut. And get this, no one was allowed to see it. But that's just the beginning of the insanity. Justin was stunned to learn that Blake's husband, Ryan Reynolds, actually had a hand in writing some of the scenes. Something that was completely out of line and never even run by Justin. And if that wasn't enough, Justin was literally shoved into the basement with his own friends and family during the premiere of his own movie. This wasn't just some misunderstanding. This was Blake making sure she had all the power, all the control, and all the attention. But here's the thing. Blake's little scheme is crumbling fast. The tables are turning, and now she's the one on shaky ground. Justin's lawyer? Oh, he's about to unload mountains of evidence against her. So let's get right into it, because the lies are unraveling fast. Blake accused Justin of violating her personal space, claiming he showed up uninvited when she was or her baby. But newly leaked text messages completely shred that claim. Because guess what? Blake herself invited Justin to her trailer while she was pumping milk. And the proof? Right here, in her own words. And Justin's response? He wasn't exactly jumping at the invitation. His reply makes it crystal clear. He had no intention of crossing any boundaries. In fact, it was Blake herself who dictated what she was comfortable with. But that's not even the worst of it. Blake also accused Jamie Heath, Justin's best friend and the film's lead producer, of showing her highly inappropriate and explicit material. And that claim, well, let's just say, the truth tells a very different story. Blake spun this whole situation into some horrific harassment claim. But here's what she conveniently left out of her lawsuit. The so-called inappropriate footage she was shown. It was actually a birthing scene, something directly related to the film's script. And the video? It wasn't some disturbing, explicit content. It was footage of the producer's own wife giving birth, filmed in an artistic and tasteful way to capture the beauty of bringing life into the world. Nothing inappropriate, just more twisted accusations from Blake to fit her narrative. And she didn't stop there. Another wild claim she made, that Justin body her, making cruel comments about her weight. This accusation escalated so far that Reynolds actually summoned Justin to his penthouse, where he reportedly exploded on him, swearing and scolding him over the alleged remarks. But Blake didn't just drag her husband into this mess. Oh no, she allegedly pulled in Taylor Swift too, using her influence to manipulate and pressure Justin. And if you thought that was bad, get this. More leaked messages reveal that Blake literally threatened Justin, claiming she was the great Khaleesi from Game of Thrones and that Ryan and Taylor were her dragons. Seriously, she actually said that, and when Megyn Kelly read it out loud, it was even cringier than it sounds. But here's the real kicker. Maybe Blake should have actually finished watching Game of Thrones, because if I remember correctly, things didn't end too well for Khaleesi. But let's be real, what actually happened? Yes, Justin did ask his personal trainer about Blake's weight, but it wasn't for some shady reason. Yet, the moment Blake found out, she immediately blew it out of proportion. And at this point, we've all seen the pattern. Twisting things, taking them way out of context. Here's the real story. Justin has serious back issues. And in the film, there was a scripted scene where he had to physically lift Blake. Meaning, he had to know how much she weighed to make sure he didn't injure himself or, even worse, accidentally hurt Blake. There was no body, no inappropriate discussion, just a professional concern for safety. But here's where things get even messier. More leaked messages completely destroy Blake's ridiculous accusations. Conversations between her and Justin prove just how supportive he actually was, especially when she was feeling insecure about her body after giving birth. In one message, Justin personally reassured her, making it crystal clear that he had nothing but encouragement for her. Another huge allegation making headlines, Blake claims that there was no intimacy coordinator on set. According to her lawsuit, she says that Justin improvised physical intimacy that hadn't been rehearsed, choreographed, or even discussed, all without an intimacy coordinator present. Sounds serious, right? Well, there's just one problem. Blake's own words completely contradict this claim. In a past interview, she herself admitted that an intimacy coordinator was hired. So, which one is it, Blake? Because right now it's looking a lot like she's just saying whatever fits her narrative. And if you're still not convinced, leaked text messages make things even messier. In one of her own messages to Justin, her response makes it pretty clear that she wasn't all that concerned about whether an intimacy coordinator was on set. And let's not forget, long before Blake even filed this lawsuit, Justin actually praised her in interviews for how she took control of their intimate scenes. So, this wasn't some last-minute damage control on his part. He was giving her credit way before this legal battle even began. Blake's lawsuit specifically calls out one scene, but when you break it down point by point, every single claim she made completely backfired. Let's go through it step by step. Blake alleges that she and Justin were filming a slow dance scene for a montage where no sound was recorded. She claims that Justin let the camera roll and spoke to her out of character, rather than staying in the scene. She then accuses him of leaning in, dragging his lips from her ear down her neck, and whispering, "It smells so good." Sounds damning, right? But here's where things fall apart. Blake's whole argument hinges on the idea that no sound was recorded, which would mean there's no proof of what really happened. That way, she gets to control the narrative. But guess what? Oops! Justin's lawyer came in clutch. He released the actual footage from that filming day. And surprise! Surprise! It has sound. Meaning, we can hear exactly what happened, and it once again exposes Blake for twisting the truth. And here's the real kicker. Blake's own lawsuit says, and I quote, "Nothing needed to be said because, again, there is no sound." But hold up, didn't Blake herself tell Justin that they should talk in the scene? Yep, there it is. Plain as day. Another major contradiction that completely destroys her credibility. So, now I'm dying to hear what you all think about this wild mess. But wait for the plot twist. This is the part you won't believe. Blake has now gone all in, slamming Justin Baldoni and his lawyer with a gag order, demanding they stop releasing any and all text messages or evidence that could completely expose her. Can you believe it? Heaven forbid Justin actually defend himself. So, what do you guys think of all this? Here's the million-dollar question. Has Blake been lying from the start, playing the victim, and now her supposed evidence is blowing up in her face? All thanks to Justin's lawyer, Megyn Kelly? Or is there actually some truth to her claims? And maybe she really is the victim here after all? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe and notification bell so you don't miss out on more of the latest celebrity drama. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.